Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. In our previous video, we have covered what are predefined functional interfaces. We also looked at one of the predefined functional interface, that is predicate. We saw its syntax, what are its usage, default and static methods that are available in the predicate, and predicate joining with some of the example. In case you have missed it, click on the link mentioned in the I button on the top of your screen. Then we looked at another predefined function interface, that is function. We saw its usage, what is its syntax, default and static methods that are available in the function, also function joining with some of the examples. In case you have missed it, you can see this in the link mentioned on the top of your screen. Coming back to this video, in this video we will see some more examples of predicate and functions so that we can use the combination of both effectively in our day-to-day life. So before wasting any time, let's get started. So let's take an example here. In this example, let's consider I have an array of integers like this. Then let's say I have a function square which takes a number and returns the square of the given number. So my function will look like a function of integer which returns an integer square equals to I tends to I star I. Then let me write a predicate which will check if the given number is less than 1000 or not. So my predicate will look like predicate number less than number, and it will check whether the number is less than 1000 or not. So it will return true if the number is less than 1000 and return false if the number is greater than 1000. Then if at all I want to calculate the average of all the numbers that are present inside the array, I'll write a function for that too. So I'll write a function that will take a list of integers and will return a single integer. The function will be calculate average, which takes numbers list as the input, and let me have a variable average here that will sum up all the numbers that are present inside the list, and it will return the number divided by the size of the input list, which is nothing but the average of the list. So in this way, what we'll try to achieve at the end of this is we'll print the square of all the numbers, then we'll print which are the numbers which are less than 1000, then we'll print the average of all the numbers which are less than 1000. So let's look at this example into the actions. So let me write a main method, public static void main string args, and in this main method what I'll do is I'll be creating a list of numbers, list of integer numbers equals to arrays.as list, and I'll add number from 10 to 100. Now what I'll do is I will be writing a function that will calculate the square of the given number. So a function of integer comma integer square equals to I tends to I star I. Now I will write a predicate to check if the given number is less than 1000 or not. So let me write a predicate of integer less than 1000 equals to I tends to I less than 1000. So it will return true if the given number is less than 1000, otherwise it will return false. Now what I want to do is I want to print the square of all the numbers that are present in the list. But what I'll do is I'll not directly print it. Instead I'll create a new list, and in this list I'll add the numbers which are the square of the given numbers. So I'll iterate over the main list and add this to the new list. So a list of integer square list equals to new array list. Now what I'll do is I'll iterate over the numbers list for integer I over the numbers list, and then for each number what I'll do is square list dot add and we'll apply the square function on the given number. Square dot apply on I. Next what I'll do is I'll print this entire list. System.out.println the square list. So let me just save this code and let me compile it. So to compile, I will write Java C example2.java. Then to run it, I will write Java example2. Now here you can see we have the list of all the squares of the given number. Then what I'll do is I'll write another function. This function will take a list of integer and will return the list of integer. What this number will do is it will give me the filtered list, a filtered list as in the numbers which are less than 1000. So I'll iterate it over the square list and I'll see all those squares which are less than 1000. So since we are going to use multiple statement in the lambda expression, so we'll be using the curly braces here. So let me write the code. I'll create a temporary list here which will be a kind of filtered list for me. Filtered list equals to new array list. Right now it is a blank list, but what I'll do is I'll iterate over the square list, or maybe I can say the input list for integer I over the input list, that is list, and for every number I will test if the given number is less than 1000, then only I am going to add it to the filtered list. Filtered list dot add. And since this function returns a type of list of integers, so I'll return this new filtered list that I have created. And just to invoke this lambda function, what we'll do is we'll create a list of integer, and in this integer what I'm expecting is a filtered list. So let me write it as a new list equals to filter list dot apply. I will apply it over the square list. And let me just print the new list that I will get after applying this filtered list function. So let me just save this code. Now let us compile Java C example2.java and let us run it. Example 2. So now you can see there are only three numbers which are less than 1000. Our next task is to achieve the average of these two numbers which are less than 1000. So for this again we'll go and write a function that will take in list of integer as an input, and it will return an integer which is nothing but the average of the numbers that are present inside the list. I'll name it as calculate average. This will take a list, and again there will be multiple statements, so I'm using the curly braces here. Let me write a variable average and let me initialize it with 0. So first what I'll do is I'll add all the numbers that are present inside the list. So for integer I over the list, what I'll do is I'll just add it to the average variable. So average plus equal to I. Now since we have to return the average, so what I'll do is return the average divided by the size of the list. Now to invoke this, let me declare a variable integer average equal to calculate average. Now I'll calculate the average of which list? The new list that I have got. New list. And let me just print this average. System.out.println average. So let's just save it. So let me compile this code java c example2.java and let us run it. Example 2. So you can see we have the average here. So this was it for today. Today we have covered one example where we have used predicate and function together. In our upcoming videos, we will see some more examples of how we can use function and predicate in our day-to-day life. So I hope you like the video. So do like, share and subscribe. Stay tuned for yet another videos on Java 8. Till then, take care, bye bye and thank you for watching.